Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan, and we are back here at the table making a video for you guys. We know we have not been putting out content at our normal rate since the school year started. We apologize for that, just with these two guys being in college, me still being here in high school, and then obviously just general busyness in life. It's just not easy to do, but our passion for this is still here, and whenever we have the opportunity to all be here together, we will take advantage of it. We will get content out for you guys. I am also trying to do a better job of getting more consistent content on the Instagram. We had our picks for the Thanksgiving games that already happened out there on the Instagram for you. So again, just trying to get content for you guys whenever you can. This is one of those opportunities. We're excited. Week 12 picks for Sunday and then the Monday night game. Let's get started.
Yeah, I'll just quickly reiterate what Ryan said. Me and Tyler have been really busy in college, which has been just great. We've been having a lot of great experiences and getting a lot of cool experiences in the sports realm. And so the touchdown table, I'm not going to say has been an afterthought, but it certainly has not been the first thing we're thinking about, just because there's more opportunities. And plus, we've been really busy just besides that as well with school and all that stuff. And so trying to find time has just been tough, and we've just kind of never really made a huge effort to try to push stuff, especially because the quality probably won't be that great, and so we want to get the best quality stuff to you, and that's what we're doing right now. So, Tyler, you were going to say something?
Yeah. So, obviously, this video came out after the Thursday games. We're not going to lie to you and just say we predicted those scores exactly right. So we're going to be honest here. All three of us picked these teams to win, the Bears, the Cowboys, and the Bills. Two of those teams did win. I'll just give you a recap of the Thursday games. 16-14 Bears. 36-33 Raiders won, so we're all wrong on that one. And then the Bills beat the
What a
Saints
game.
in an absolute beatdown, 31-6. So that brings us to where we are now. We got the Sunday games and that one Monday game. So, Jordan, we're going to start off with you on that right side of the table, according to them. So give us that first game, and we're going to go get this thing started.
Yeah, this is a really good game. It's a really important game, and one of my friends will be there, so shout out to her. She's a Steelers fan, although, as you'll see really quickly, she's going to be mad at me because I'm not picking the Steelers to win. Oh. Let's just go right now. I don't need to explain it that much. I guess I'll start doing it. This should be a good game. The Bears should have beat the Steelers. They didn't. That's besides the point. That's in the past now. The refs know that it happened. But anyways, this one might be a close game. Personally, I know before everyone was so high on the Bengals, and they're not a bad team, but they were never that team that everyone was like, oh my gosh, they're so good. Jamar Chase for like the world leader. That's what they were kind of saying at one point. And they've done a great job, don't get me wrong. But
not leader in yards, yeah. The world leader.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
No, but I've liked what the Bengals have done, but they're still a young team. They're still trying to get things figured out. I think we've seen that over the past couple of weeks. Even though they haven't completely done horrible, it's been certainly a little bit of a drop. But I think they're able to pick up a very important division win against the Steelers. Sorry, Rachel, I've got Cincinnati winning this game. And score prediction on the fly. We don't have it written down today. Let's go 24-21.
Yeah, as you alluded to, big one here in the AFC North. I'm going with the Bengals as well. I just trust their offense more. I just think with Pittsburgh, I think you can get the sense that Ben Roethlisberger and that offense, they just don't quite have that juice. Obviously, the Chargers game, they battled back, but that was set up by some timely plays by the defense and special teams. And again, they were missing a couple key defensive players in the Chargers game. I get it, they were shorthanded, but they did end up losing a tough one at home last week. In this one in Cincinnati, I did that on purpose. In this one in Cincinnati, I think the stakes are going to be high. I just trust Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense more than I do Pittsburgh's offense. I think the connection with Jamar Chase, along with the offensive line, which has done a better job than last year, I would say. I just trust the Bengals offense more. It's a tight one. It's going to be a physical game. These two teams, AFC North, same division, don't like each other very much, but give me the Bengals 20-16.
Yeah, we're going to go clean sweep with the Bengals here. I'm going to make this quick. I think the defense for the Bengals has been pretty good this year, and they're not really talked about as much. Guys like Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard on the defensive line have been good, and then obviously there's that trio at wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins, that has just been absolutely extraordinary with the help of Joe Burrow throwing those passes where they need to be. I think he'll do that on Sunday, and then it'll lead to the Bengals winning with the score of 27-23. It's weird to do it on the fly. There's nothing down here today because we don't have any scores. So
just think of two numbers you like.
Very impromptu conversation here. So as Jordan manages to stay up, we're going to go back to him. He's going to tell us what the next game is. We're going to do it differently. We're going to start with Jordan each time and come to me. So go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, you get more of me today. I know all you guys were asking for it in the comment section below in our last video that came out about 2 months ago. Anyways, this will be another really good game as well. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Indianapolis Jonathan Taylors. And while Jonathan Taylor has been doing really good, maybe I'll let you guys talk about that if you want to. But this is going to be a really good game. Oh my goodness, the lights just went out. Oh, it's flickering.
Is it back?
It's trying. We'll roll with it right now because we're in the video. As I was saying, the Colts really good week last week. They've been looking really good. Had a tough start to the season, but I think we all knew that just had to persevere. They had a tough schedule, and this game is definitely going to be one of those tougher games. With the Bucs, they've been on a bit of a rough patch recently. Did a little bit better last week against the Giants on Monday Night Football, but then again, it's the Giants. So I think this will be a really good game. Two really good offenses and two really good defenses as well. I think they are probably maybe the two best teams in their respective divisions right now, in the Colts and the Bucs are probably the most hottest right now. Although the NFC, it can go to anyone. Anyways, wow, I don't even know who I'm gonna pick. Sorry, I'm picking the Colts because I love my friends who are Colts fans, and I do like the Bucs as well. But I'm not picking them. Let's go 36 to 33 in honor of Thanksgiving Day football.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. I think if you're the Colts, I mean, this shouldn't really be a surprise, but their method of winning is simple. They run the football, the offensive line plays well, and the defense makes timely plays. I mean, that's what we expected it to be coming into the season for how they're going to win games. And Carson Wentz, I said he was going to kind of be in between the 2017 MVP level, but not as bad as he was last year. I think it's safe to say that's where he is. And I just think the key is, Carson Wentz just cannot be the reason. Carson Wentz just cannot be the reason that the Colts lose games. We just can't have stuff like we had in that Colts-Titans game, the one in Indianapolis, 2 costly interceptions late. Just can't have that. Just give the ball to Jonathan Taylor, make timely plays on defense. But I think this is going to be one that does not go the Colts' way. I'm picking the Bucs mainly because I trust that front seven to somewhat contain Jonathan Taylor just enough to allow the Bucs offense to overpower the Colts. It's going to be a close one, though. Going to be a back-and-forth game. This is really my toss-up of the week. Could easily see either team winning. So in honor of that, I'll give it a 1-point margin. Bucs 24-23.
Just like Jordan, I do love my Colts fans, but not enough to pick the Colts to win this one. I really thought about this one for a while as I was making my pick for it, but I ended up going with the Bucs. I just think they're going to be more fresh in terms of what they're able to do because the Colts went into a long game last week. Jonathan Taylor had a lot of runs, so that could slow the tank down a bit for his next week. So I'm picking the Bucs to win this one, 33-28.
All right, now to the third game. This one not a really good game, not a really premier game, but it might be a close game. It's the Panthers and the Dolphins, two teams that I think are pretty equal in their caliber right now. As Tyler tries to go ahead and fix that light for us, we appreciate it. I thought that Cam Newton was going to come in and just have a really good game against Washington. It's not that he did not, but it was a little bit below what I expected, and they started off that game good, but then Washington had a nice comeback to get back into that game, and it really was just Washington from that point on. And I thought early on in Cam Newton's time with Carolina, again, he'd having some good progression and all that, and then he'd get slowed down as teams kind of figure him out. But I think teams already know how to play Cam Newton, they know how to play these running quarterbacks. We've seen a lot of them in the modern-day NFL. And I think the Dolphins defense is no exception to knowing how to do that. Brian Flores and that team, really good defense. They've been stepping up, and Tua has been serviceable enough for the Dolphins. So that's why I'm taking the Miami Dolphins and the Marco Guas team. We never forget about you, Marco.
No, we don't.
28-24. Go Dolphins. I was trying to think of go. What family they're in. They're not
They're
fish,
mammals.
are they? I know they're, but I wanted to go more specific.
Brian, go ahead.
All right.
Go fish. You're not a fish.
Okay.
Mammals.
I think, that could be a lot of teams, but I think that
Go Bears.
ultimately with this game, I'm picking the hot hand, and that's the Dolphins. I think what they've done since, they've won 3 straight, so I think...
hot fins, actually.
The hot fin, the Miami Dolphins. I always felt like they were better than their record, even when they were 1-7. And even still now, you figure, I mean, what are they, 4-7 right now? They still have an outside shot. Definitely got to play really good football down the stretch to have any playoff consideration. The margin for error is pretty slim. The lights out again. But with the way the Dolphins defense has been playing, I'm going to, like I said, roll with the hot hand or the hot fin. Tua, he's been playing better, but there is the weekly what are you doing throw that usually comes at a less than ideal moment. But alas, I think the Dolphins will come out victorious in this one. Give me them winning 27-21.
All right, you guys went with the hot hand, or should I say fin. And I'm going to be going against the cold paw as the Panthers are going for the cold paw as they come off a loss against Washington, I believe. I just think they're going to be able to do enough. I think Tua, on the other hand, gets a bit too much hate. I think he has one bad throw a game. I was talking to Ryan about this the other day, where people will just exploit that and say he's a terrible quarterback. But he's been improving each and every game as you go back and watch him. So pay attention to that, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Cam's going to be able to get a win. His first win as a starter for the Panthers with a score of 27
this
to
time
24.
Around. This time around.
Yes.
He's
This,
won
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
starts with
Yes.
the Panthers before.
Yes.
including. Okay, wow. Mac Jones, am I right? It's the Titans and it's the Patriots.
Yes, Mac Jones.
Coming into
Mac
this
Jones.
season, and I was not the biggest Mac Jones fan. I'm not completely flipping on that. I still think that Mac Jones is who we thought he was going to be. He's that standard pocket passing quarterback who gets the job done when he's got people who are getting open, a solid run game, and a solid defense. And that's the exact identity of the New England Patriots right now. The whole team is just built for success with Mac Jones at the helm, with the way they're running the football, with the way that defense is playing. It's hard to bet against the New England Patriots right now. And I think there will be a point, there will be a game when kind of all of it shuts down. I think teams will somewhat figure out their style, but I don't think it'll be the Titans in this game. I think their defense isn't sufficient enough to figure that out, and I think their offense without Derrick Henry is a little bit stagnant, as I'm sure Ryan could attest to, as his Texans just beat them last week. I know it was raining throughout that game, but still, I've got the Patriots. I can't pick against them. I'm kind of flipping on Mac Jones. I think that he's impressed me more than I thought he would. I'm glad he's got the start, and he is certainly the best rookie quarterback playing right now. By far, it's not even close. I think you know that. I've got the Patriots against the Titans, taking another tough loss, in my opinion. Score prediction is 26-20.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of bounce off what you said there about Mac Jones. I just think that, it's a perfect match, him and the Patriots. When you look at what the Patriots want to do offensively, and you look at that, and then you look at what Mac Jones is accustomed to and what his skill set is. And just on draft day, once they made that selection, I think everyone knew that was just a really good match that was very beneficial for both sides. And I think they're playing well. I think, that they've put themselves in the mix. They're making plays defensively. I mean, Matthew Judon, what he's doing for them defensively, oh my gosh, I feel like he's everywhere all the time. Definitely a guy that opposing offenses have to game plan for. And then you look at the Titans. I mean, they've beaten a lot of good teams this year. And yes, I know a lot of that was with Derrick Henry, but they're well coached. They play hard. Last week, I don't know what the heck happened, but just something about the Texans and the Jets just can't can solve the Titans. And I don't know what it is, but the Titans just cannot get over those teams that are 2-8 right now, the Texans and the Jets. But yeah, Kansas City, Buffalo, the Rams. Yeah, we're good. But Texans and Jets. And the good thing for the Titans, if you make the playoffs, there will only be playoff teams in there. So you won't have to worry about the Texans and the Jets or any other 2-win teams. You'll be good. And I know I'm taking too much time, but when you look at the NFL this year, it has not made sense. So what you're thinking when you look at this game, you think, the Patriots are playing so well. Mac Jones, the Titans are coming off of a loss to the Texans in a game that, they should have had in the bag easily. So then, they're disappointed. They're going on the road to play a Red Hot Patriots team. No, you're using logic. What has the NFL been this year? Throw that out the window. The NFL has not made any sense this year more than any year probably in my history of watching football. It does not make sense. The Texans literally just beat the Titans. Things don't make sense. There is so much entropy in the NFL right now.
I said this before. It's like college football.
It is like college football. It's nuts. So stop applying logic. The Titans are playing a playoff team. They'll play up to their competition. They'll get it done somehow. Mike Vrabel will have a couple gutsy fourth down calls that he'll be on the right side of this time. NFL makes no sense this year, so what the heck? Titans win it 26-23.
I think either way, you could look at this game and say, even if both teams won, look at both sides of it. It would be logical because these two teams have been really good up to last week for the Titans. They've been two of the hotter teams in the AFC. So I don't know. I think either way you could talk about it as being an upset. It's going to be a close game. Ultimately, I think the Patriots match up a lot better against the Titans than the Titans do for the Patriots, especially because of the cornerbacks that the Patriots have. And that defense needs to be talked about more. Everyone talks about how good Mac Jones is, and he has been great. And it's just unexpected for me. I was a huge Mac Jones fan coming out of the draft, and we knew or figured he was going to be the most NFL ready. We've seen that in this first year in this rookie season. And I just think that defense deserves some more love, and they're going to show out once again, beating the Titans with a score of 28-20.
Alrighty, NFC East we move on to right now. It's the Eagles and it's the Giants. I don't really know what to say about this game, to be completely honest with you. Dang you, Light. We don't like you, okay? We would like you if you turned on, but unfortunately it's not getting turned on right now, and it's really frustrating. It keeps turning off. Anyways, speaking of teams that have turned off, the Giants were never really on, so never mind about that one. They need to get Kenny Galladay more involved.
It was a good attempt to segue, but
yeah. Kenny Galladay needs to get more involved. Saquon Barkley needs to do better, although I'd prefer not this week because I'm playing against him in my fantasy football league. There's really not much to analyze with this game. I'm not really a big fan of either of these two teams right now. I think Jalen Hurts gets it done. He'll probably run in for like 6 touchdowns like he does every single week. Can't throw the ball, though. But 27 to 17.
you can just tell how much he cares about this game.
Yeah.
I really care, okay?
Yeah, he does. I mean, I'm sure Jordan, he'll have his DVR set. He's going to watch this one back.
I'll be driving back to school when this game's on.
Yeah, well, he's going to make him drive because you have to watch that game. You have to watch the Eagles and the Giants because he cares about it just so much. I think this one, the Eagles, they put up a lot of points, but I also think the Giants' defense, there's potential there. I think they've got some young promise in the secondary, but it's just, you see bits and pieces on both sides of the ball, but with them, it's just not all there. And with the Eagles, I think you can say the same thing. I think you see a performance like last week, it's really good, but then you see, like, early in the season, it's just not been there. So with these two teams, you see, like, there's teams that are a lot worse than these two teams. There's teams that are a lot better than these two teams. So just kind of a very mediocre type of matchup. I think these two teams are fairly evenly matched. I think the Giants' defense comes up with a few big turnovers. I think that'll be the difference. Giants win it. We'll go low scoring. How about 19-17?
Okay. That comes now to me for the Eagles-Giants game. I look at the Giants on one side. I think they're an underrated team. They don't get enough respect. They need to get the ball to Kadarius Toney more.
Yes.
I don't know why they're not doing that. It seems like in every
Remember
broadcast
when we
I watch.
at them about Kadarius Toney? That was fun.
That was great, but they
I
do.
just watched.
He has been so good after the catch, and for some reason they're not throwing it to him, and that was one of the reasons why Jason Garrett was fired for the second time in 3 years now. So good for him. The clapper, yes. I think Jason Garrett's old team's going to lose the Eagles, although I'm not all in on Jalen Hurts yet. He still needs to show me some more in the passing and the pocket department. I think he does enough in this game to get the job done. Eagles win 23-17.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're in the midst of 2 more games that are coming after this that I really care about as well. They're going to be fantastic games. They have a lot of really high implications on them, and you can just tell from the look on my face how excited I am to talk about them. Oh my God! It's the Falcons and the Jaguars. What? This game means basically nothing, but one of these teams has to win unless they tie.
This sounds like it'd be a preseason game.
It really does. Trevor Lawrence versus Matt Ryan. I'd like to see Trevor Lawrence play a little bit better. I know it's still early. He's still got to learn, but you'd think he'd be NFL ready. It's not like he's played very terrible. It's not like he has very many weapons. However, I think he'll lose to Matt Ryan, who is frustrating me because if I played him 1 week in a fantasy when he got 24 points, then I would have won that week. I'd have 3 wins on the season instead of 2. And then I played him next week because he did so good the week prior, and he got me negative points, and he just got negative points again, but he was on my bench because I played Tua Tagovailoa over him. Anyways, Matt Ryan, congratulations. You'll win this ever so important game. It could be high scoring, maybe not. Jacksonville's defense is good, so maybe Atlanta will win. Or will lose. I don't know. I'm excited. Not. Yeah. 21. No. 28. 25.
All right. Yeah.
Expert analysis.
There you go. I just think with this game, it's one where you got to really dig deep to find a reason to pick one of these two teams to win a football game right now. And honestly, I'm just gonna go with the Jags just because I really want to see Trevor Lawrence have like that game, like that moment where 3 touchdowns, playing really well, 300 yards, and like he doesn't have the best supporting cast. Like Mac Jones has been the best rookie quarterback so far, yes, but he's going into an established system with the greatest head coach ever, with the team that's really got an established culture already there for him.
It's not even his receivers; it's his running backs that are so good.
Yeah,
that make
exactly.
It so
That's
easy
true.
for
He's
him.
just in a really good spot, and Trevor Lawrence.
Shout out to Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah,
both on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, with all these running backs that are coming out of nowhere, I really find it harder and harder to rationalize drafting a running back in the first round. But that's a conversation for another time. But when you look at the
Old Dominion
Jaguars situation with Trevor Lawrence, I really want to see that breakout game. I want to see it for him, even though he's in my division as a Texans fan. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him live up to that potential, except when he's playing my team. And I think, again, when you compare him to Mac Jones, like Trevor's going somewhere, first-year head coach, not as much skill around him, a team that's still trying to establish an identity and culture. So give it time, Jaguars fans, and really rest of NFL media. I think Trevor and the Jaguars will pull out the win. Again, hard to find a reason to pick either of these two teams to win a game. What the heck? Jaguars win it 17-14.
Well, there's a couple reasons to make it sound like I'm hyping up this game. One, 2 top 5 picks could be playing in this one. Kyle Pitts and Trevor Lawrence, the first overall pick. Trevor Lawrence, who's been talked about a lot. And then you got 2 first-year head coaches going up against each other, at least in the NFL. Yes. One of them who likes to have mac and cheese at Thanksgiving. He made that very clear against Matt Judon's statement, and then one of them who likes to do certain other extracurricular activities.
Yeah. It's Thanksgiving. Did you have mac and cheese?
No, I did not.
Okay. Who has mac and cheese on Thanksgiving? I never had that before.
That's a typical mac and cheese thing.
Are you kidding me?
Thank you for brushing
mac
that over
and
my joke there about the Jaguars head coach.
No, I got you.
All right. Anyways, sorry about that. I'm gonna pick the Falcons to win this one. I just think they're more consistent on both sides of the ball.
Turkey.
And get the job done in terms of a score.
Some corn.
I'm going to be going with
gravy.
Let's go somewhat high scoring. 30-28.
I need some.
Wait, is that 32-28 or 30-28?
30
some salad,
32
some sweet potatoes if you like that.
Okay.
Nice
and I apologize, Everett Meyer, for my words.
Alrighty, here we go. The third game in a row that I'm so excited to talk about. If this game was 10 years ago, maybe 8, 7 years ago, there might be 2 premier quarterbacks playing in it. It's Joe Flacco versus Tyrod Taylor.
No, it's not. It's not. It's Zach Wilson versus Tyrod.
Oh, that's right.
I told you this earlier today.
Oh, Zach Wilson's playing.
I'm excited. I'm going to watch this game.
I'm upset now.
Go ahead.
Zach Wilson needs to play better. Brian, Thanksgiving, you're thankful for me. I'm picking the Texans.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm picking a tie because I can do that. They're going to tie 21-21.
If there's only 2 teams that can do it, it's these 2 teams. Trust me.
Sorry, I thought Joe Flacco was playing. I'm excited.
Table. Thanks, Jordan. Go ahead, Ryan.
We'll have to remember that when we calculate our picks. But yeah, I mean, the Texans. I don't know what the heck got into them last week. They just decided to be good, and I mean, I have to give so much credit to what Lovie
Go
Smith's
Texas
done with
defense.
that defense. Oh, yeah, you picked them up, right? Yeah. But yeah, what they've done, especially these past 2 weeks, 5 takeaways the past 2 weeks. So again, shout out to Lovie Smith, Texans defensive coordinator, for what he's done with the guys he's had. Like,
Go Bears.
These are not household names that he's had to work with. So again, he's got that Texans defense getting takeaways, playing together. And the offense, I mean, hey, the Texans are 2-1 in games Tyrod Taylor plays from start to finish. So, I mean, I think that's worth something, especially when the team's 2-8 overall. And I didn't know if I was going to ever be able to do this again because I always pick with my head, not with my heart. But I really do believe that the Texans can win this game. I think Tyrod Taylor's been playing well. Miami game wasn't great, but pretty much every game he's played outside of that, I think he's been doing really well, being smart, looks comfortable out there, even though it's his first year in a Texans uniform. And that defense, I like Zach Wilson a lot. I'm actually excited to see him, but I think the Texans defense will make just enough plays and ride that positive momentum from the Tennessee game. I think that'll be a big thing as well. Should be a close one. 2 not great teams, but, sometimes that makes it a good game, even if the teams themselves aren't great. Give me the Texans 27-24.
If you know me, you know I love Zach Wilson. If you've watched this channel, you know I love Zach Wilson. I talk about him all the time, and I think he's going to be really good still. It's a rocky start because he's with the Jets and still trying to establish himself in the offense. And it's been a rough 28 days or so for myself, waiting for the day that Zach Wilson can walk back on the field, and that's going to be Sunday again. I'm really excited to see him, go back on the field and show everyone what he's got. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I think it's going to be a terrible performance on the field for the Jets. Not exactly for Zach Wilson.
Right.
It's just going to be a bad performance for the Jets because they lost to the Texans, and something weird has happened here. A clean sweep for the Texans.
Wow.
Did not expect that coming into this year. I think Zach Wilson has a good game, but Tyrod Taylor continues to lead these Texans
Real
to 2
quick,
wins in a row. We're going to go somewhat low scoring here. We'll go 24 to 26.
Oh, don't do that. You said the higher scored second.
26
that
to
was
24.
weird. Don't
Well, I
do
just picked
that.
2 numbers.
Okay, yeah, but hey, just say, hey, if the Texans win back to back and 3-8 could still get that winning record, you're gonna hear a lot of ridiculous statements from me following that if it happens. Just a heads up.
Okay, when
The
you look
playoff
at
machine is a dangerous tool.
oh no, when you look at this next game here, you look at it, you're like, okay, this doesn't really seem like a very good game. But then you look at the AFC West standings right now, and you're like, whoa, baby. This has some sort of implications for some reason. It's the Chargers and it's the Broncos. Right now, the Broncos sit at 5-5, and the Chargers sit at 6-4. Chiefs lead division with a record of 7-4 right now. And you look at it and you're saying, okay, Chargers going to run with it, right? Broncos have had an up and down season. They started off really well, then it's been kind of tough since then. But they've been playing pretty decent. But I don't think the Broncos win this one. It's important if they win it. They still have an outside shot, and it's really not even that outside. They're still very much in the fight to get into this expanded playoff format in the AFC. I don't think they win this game. I don't think they make the playoffs. I've got the Chargers winning this game and making the playoffs. Sorry to my friend Jack, who's a Broncos fan. Chargers win with a score of 30-21.
Cool.
Yeah, as you mentioned, not one that you maybe would think would be high stakes, but I mean, both these teams find themselves in it. Chargers got that all-important win on Sunday Night Football last week. Had to come from behind when it initially looked like they were going to be able to run away with it in the second half. I like the Chargers. I think we've seen them play really well at the beginning of the season, but then they kind of, dropped off a little bit, lost to New England, lost to the Vikings. But I really think, as the season progresses, we're going to see them come on. I don't think they're going to win the division, but I do think they'll be a wild card. I think they're the better team. I trust Justin Herbert to make enough plays. Going to be a tight one, but I think the Chargers will begin to separate themselves from some of the other teams in the AFC West, like the Broncos, as they try and climb their way in the AFC playoff race. Give me the Chargers 28-24.
With the Chiefs on their bye week, it's all the more important for the Chargers to get the job done now in Week 12 against a division opponent in the Broncos, who have looked pretty good, been on and off throughout the season. But they have to go out this week and really make a strong performance.
The Chargers.
So there's your Chargers right there. And I'll be picking the Chargers as well, so let me hold that for a second. I'm having the Chargers beating the Broncos. It's going to be a score of 34-24.
Okay.
Go Chargers.
Go Herbert. Okay, one game that I actually care about here. Let's go Rams at Green Bay. Yep. This will be a very important game in the NFC right now. I should have looked up records, but I did not. It is a very much a Joe and Troy game. They talked about it multiple times on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they really
So if you didn't know this game existed and you existed on Thanksgiving watching the awesome game between the Bears and the Lions, then you must have been living under a rock
second field
and
goal.
smacking yourself. Yeah, the last second field goal that they kneeled down to. They made it seem so dramatic.
And then there's the Lions who called a timeout back to back, but you can't do that.
Yeah, it was a pretty funny game to watch. Sorry, Lions fans. It's been tough on you, and okay, good game. I don't know what to say because I didn't pick a team to win this game right now. Stafford's been struggling as of recently, so hopefully he's able to do a little bit better. The Packers' defense really not the greatest defense, but Aaron Rodgers and this offense have been picking it up again. Devontae Adams hopefully does bad because I'm playing against him in fantasy football this week. This will be most likely a shootout. Going to be a very important game in the NFC, and whoever loses this game might be losing a shot at getting that one bye that is left in this new playoff format. So very important for playoff implications. Right now, who am I going to pick? I don't know. I chose now. I'm picking the Rams. 31-26. Matthew Stafford's going to tear up Tyler's fantasy football team this week.
All right, I'd like to hear that because I'm playing him, and after Daniel Carlson got him like 20 whatever points it was, I could certainly use that, but it's okay. Next man up for fantasy. That's my mentality. We'll be hopefully okay. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm not going to take up 10 minutes talking about fantasy football. I leave that to the man to my left. But anyway, this game, rematch of the divisional round game from last season, should be a good one. I think that, both these teams have kind of been in somewhat of slumps lately. The Packers lost that tough one against the Vikings, a back-and-forth game. And then there's the thing with Aaron Rodgers. Apparently he has a little bit of a toe injury, but, he appears like... Yeah,
I can't get my foot up. I'm not as flexible as Aaron Rodgers.
If I was picking the Packers, I would show you my foot, just like Aaron Rodgers. But I'm going with the Rams just because I think with them coming off the bye week, I think they've had a chance to kind of look in the mirror, get that chemistry going, get Odell Beckham more involved. I think that they got the talent. And on paper, they should be the best team in football. I believe when you look at what they have, when you look at what they've brought in during the season with Von Miller, OBJ, they should be the best team in football. And if they don't win the Super Bowl, but then it's on them. And especially, they have not just, said Super Bowl or bust. It's like Super Bowl or bust times 10. Because when they have not made a first-round pick since Jared Goff, and they're not scheduled to make one until, 2024 or something, that is... if you don't win a Super Bowl in this year, the next few years, then that is such an epic failure. Because then when your current team gets old, gets out of their prime, then you've got no draft picks to get more youth in. Then it might be an ugly decade following that. But anyway, for now, I think Matthew Stafford and the Rams bounce back, get revenge on the Packers for that divisional game last year. Should be a good one and an important one in the NFC playoff picture, and maybe one that we look back on when all the seeds are said and are set in stone. Give me the Rams by a score of 30-27.
Okay, as you mentioned and Jordan did as well, this has huge NFC implications as we get closer to the playoffs. It could very well be, or could decide who gets the bye week, depending on how the Cardinals continue to do. Jordan, you talked about that Packers defense and said they have not been great. And last week they were not great. They let up 34 points, to the Vikings. But up to that point, they did not allow more than 22 points since week 3 against the 49ers. That was a stat I just found while we were talking. So they've been pretty efficient. And that offense, of course, has been efficient as well. So I think the Packers are able to get it done, and I've been sitting back here making this pick for one sole reason, because I gotta try and do it. Let's see if I'm flexible enough to do it. Packers win, God. 38-35.
Okay, there you go.
All right, next game, NFC game again. This should be a really good game. Biggest storyline coming out of this one is Jerick McKinnon is playing his old team. Wait, is he on the 49er game?
I think?
I don't know. Where's that guy at? He might not be.
Just kidding, Jerick McKinnon.
Anyways, no, this should be a good game. I saw something that said Kirk Cousins in the MVP conversation is my hatred for Kirk Cousins is over. We're pals now, but he's had a great season. Nothing against him.
Kansas City.
That's right, he is on the Chiefs. You're right. But anyways, he's had a good season. Certainly an above the average season for him. Not MVP caliber, but I am happy with how he's been playing. And the 49ers, they know their identity. They've got a good defense. They got a good run game. They got George Kittle. It's good to see him back and rolling, especially for fantasy reasons, because I have him in fantasy football. This will be a really good game, but I trust Kirk in this game. I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo. Hopefully George Kittle gets 2 touchdowns, but also hopefully Adam Thielen gets 3 touchdowns, and the scores would have to be 21-14 at that point, but I'm going to add more points because I can do that. 27 to, nope, let's go 28-26. Go Vikings.
All
Not
right.
really. Go Bears.
Okay.
But I do like purple. Go Elder football. And sports. He has no idea who Elder is. Neither you.
I don't know what.
Just make your pick.
What's going on?
Don't ignore it.
Yeah,
Ignore that side of the table.
I'm gonna try and make up for the extra time he just took. Big one in the NFC wildcard race. I think San Francisco, with them being at home, they're playing better football. Their defense, showing flashes of what they were 2 years ago. I think they make enough plays in this one. Should be a tight one. I think both these teams are maybe a little bit better than that record indicates. But ultimately, I'm going to give it to San Francisco 24-21.
There are a lot of matchups where you look at this week, and both teams are evenly matched. Now, there may be some that would include the Falcons and the Jaguars.
that are not as fun. Who knows? That game could end up being great. But I just think there's a lot of those, and this is no exception with the Vikings and the 49ers, both teams that have had similar paths. They had a rough start and have continued to get better as the weeks have gone on. I just think coming off that win against the Packers for the Vikings, they have a huge sense of urgency, and they are ready to go. The offense has been looking good. Kirk Cousins, I think, should at least have his name thrown in that conversation for MVP because he has been playing very efficiently. I don't think he's going to end up winning it, but I'm going to say he ends up winning this game. With a score of 32-31, a very close game. Okay, if you remember back to about an hour ago when this video started, we had an AFC North matchup to start it. We got another one here on Sunday Night Football. We got Al and Chris back in the booth for this one. It was good to see Drew Brees announce a game on Thanksgiving night, which is it still Thanksgiving night right now? Yes, it is. Wow. Happy Thanksgiving, happy late Thanksgiving, and Merry Christmas. Although don't start celebrating until December, but I'm sure people have been listening to Christmas.
I say my rule is on Thanksgiving. I say like
on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is like the start of Christmas.
No,
I think it's after Thanksgiving dinner. You finish your Thanksgiving celebration, and then once that's done, you eat your dinner, you have your dessert, you get fat, right? Then it's like, okay, that's over with. We still got one more game of football, but that tradition's over with. It's now time to move on to that next portion because we get to that time of the year where you're just ready to start singing Christmas songs. Yeah. I had to fight myself from singing "Here Comes Santa Claus" or any other songs. Why are we talking about this in the first place? I don't know.
I think on or after Thanksgiving is acceptable.
Well, anyways, back to my original point. Drew Brees, it was good to see you in the booth as a color guy.
Yes.
Mike Tirico does a great job as usual as well when he gets his play-by-play opportunities. Will probably be the play-by-play guy for a while once Elle and Chris are out of there because they are getting old. I'm going to miss them when they're gone. Anyways, they'll be here for this one. Yes, they will because maybe Elle won't be here. He's been just West Coast maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I didn't announce the teams yet. It's the Browns. It's the Ravens. And the Ravens coming off of a win against the Bears with Tyler Huntley. We're not going to talk about that one right now. And the Browns, they've been struggling. They had a close win against the Lions, which you never want to hear, but a win in the NFL is a win.
A lot of teams have heard that, for being honest. The Vikings have heard it. The Ravens have heard it.
Yeah, and the Browns, they've been up and down. They have some really good games, and then they follow those with really bad games. Baker Mayfield has been getting like a bunch of stuff just thrown his way. He's had an up and down season, and I'm a Baker Mayfield guy, and I think we have to give him some credit. He is hurt. His shoulder is bad. I think he hurt something in his leg. He's playing very injured right now, and I know he's been in the league for a while, but he is still kind of young. Hopefully he can get progress, but they still have an awesome defense. They still have a really good run game, and I think the Browns will win this one. Hopefully Nick Chubb scores a couple touchdowns, and for Baker Mayfield's sake, I hope he goes off in front of the world because everyone watches Sunday Night Football because it's the best show that's out there.
Waiting all day.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Carrie Underwood, she's my favorite. Although I would like to say, I don't know if you saw it, but they did the Collinsworth slide with Drew Brees.
They did.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
No, you think that should just stay with
Collinsworth?
Yes.
It's called a Collinsworth slide for a reason.
Yeah.
But anyways, my friend is a fan of the Browns. Two of them are actually.
That's a fan of every NFL team.
I know, right? And
hey,
I like the Browns. I like Nick Chubb. I hope Baker Mayfield does good. Browns win. I'm not the Ravens guy. Neither is Ryan. I don't think Tyler is either. What's the score going to be? That's a great question. 32-27. Yay. Go Browns.
All right. I think
I dropped my phone.
When I look at this game, I think, again, I have to give credit to Baker Mayfield because, he is playing very injured right now. He could easily say, I need surgery, just, shut me down.
Right, it's 11-11, make a wish.
Okay, yeah, because that's the only thing people do at that time. But I don't know, make a wish. That the Texans win out, go 9-8, then win the Super Bowl. How about that? All right? That's totally going to happen, right?
How about they just win a game?
Hey, no, we did that twice. Anyway, after that sidetrack, the 100th sidetrack of the video, When I look at this game, I mean, again, got to give props to Baker Mayfield. He's playing hurt. He can easily say, give me surgery, shut me down. But I think he's still playing because he believes this team has potential. He believes they can get into the playoffs and then hopefully get healthy and make some noise. And I think they're capable. If they can get healthy, I mean, if you get that rushing duo healthy of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they could beat absolutely anyone in the league, in my opinion, if those guys are on their game and that offensive line is healthy and doing what they do. Let's be honest. The Ravens are due for a bad break. I mean, they're like, pulling wins out of nowhere. This is getting
no swearing on the touchdown table, Ryan. They're not coming out of their butts.
No,
okay?
I got it.
Coming out of their nostrils.
They're
like a bunny out of a hat.
A lot of interesting situations when you look at Kansas City, Chicago, Detroit.
Ryan.
I mean, props to them because you have to put yourselves in a position, to get those breaks. But honestly, Baltimore is due for a bad break, and I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. I picked the Browns to win the division at the beginning of the year. So
let's bake.
Yeah, let's bake.
Bake it.
Get Baker Mayfield going. I mean, we
talk
about the Baker Mayfield cycle. It's beat inferior opponent, get doubted, criticize doubters, underdog mentality, and then it's have that big game. I think we're approaching that big game.
Miggs Mayfield.
Give me the Browns to get this one. Big stage, big game for the AFC North. This video is taking way too long.
For maybe one person that's got to this point in the video, if you know who Miggs Mayfield is, I love you. Okay.
Browns 34-31. I don't even know.
Okay.
Sure, there you go.
I'm going to do the same score prediction just because
Great. Let's go. Let's do it.
I'm going to do the same score prediction, but I'm going to go the other way around. I'm going to pick the Ravens to win this one. I think Lamar Jackson, after not playing last week, he's going to be itching to play, and I think he has a stronger performance than Baker Mayfield does. And you're right, the Ravens have been playing in a lot of these close games, and I think there will be another close game. As I already mentioned what the score prediction will be, that score prediction will be 34-31 in favor of the Ravens.
Speaking of porta potties, the Seattle Seahawks crapped the bed last week against the Cardinals. Russell Wilson didn't do very good.
That was like a Gus Johnson.
Against the Cardinals. But yeah, Russell Wilson's got to step up. It's been tough for the Seahawks these past couple of weeks. I know Russell Wilson just came back, but they're still trying to get their mojo going. Meanwhile, Washington's been playing better. Taylor Heineke, that defense a little bit better. I know that Chase is out for the season. Chase Young, our boy, we all love him. He's gone. Hopefully not forever. Definitely not forever. Anyways, this might be a good game. Who knows? We'll see. I'm excited to watch Washington. Hopefully, Russell Wilson does just enough to lose my opponent their fantasy game, but also win me my fantasy game in another league. That's all it comes down to at this point on Monday Night Football.
Sure, he'll keep that in mind.
I know. I'll text him. I'll text Sierra. I have her number. Okay.
Right.
You don't have Wynn's number yet? What? You don't have Wynn's number?
No, I don't have Wynn's number.
When you don't do a video for a couple months, this is what happens.
Lumen Stadium. Seattle
That's
Seahawks.
not where it is.
I know. It's FedEx Stadium?
Yeah.
FedEx.
Yeah. It's still called that, right?
I think so.
Yep.
Anyways, I don't have much to say about these games this week, to be honest with you.
You've had a lot to say about these games.
The NFL is just really getting me jumbled up here. Russ cooked something. It's past Thanksgiving. You haven't been cooking this year. It's been a rough year. Your name has not been in the MVP conversation, which is a surprise. Yeah. You've been hurt. You hurt your finger.
We will never forget.
You missed your first NFL game
last year. We will never forget that.
Yes.
Great. MVP.
Seahawks will win with a score of 23. There's like a cricket outside.
That's been going on for a while.
23-16.
Oh.
This is a blaring example of why I told Jordan things don't go well when we do videos late when he said we should make videos tonight. I said we should wait for another day.
Oh my God!
So that doesn't happen.
This thing's been going for like an eternity.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Last game. Come on. Power through.
I think
make this one a podcast.
Hopefully the camera's out. Hopefully someone didn't call you in the middle of the video because we've had that happen before. But
hello?
I think when you don't do that. When you look at Seattle, I think you understand that they are likely headed towards the end of an era and that a rebuild is going to be needed because just with that division, with the talent, and with really all three teams in their division, I think Seattle. I predicted this before the season. I said that Seattle was gonna regress. That I predicted them to finish last in the NFC West preseason. They're trending towards that right now. And I love Russell Wilson, but I think that team is seriously gonna have to look at trying to accumulate some draft picks. get a youth movement going because I think that championship window is
Maybe
closed.
they can take more Jordan
But
Brooks.
I hope
He's
that
gonna
we
win.
see, I hope that we see a few more vintage Russell Wilson games before we move on to the next era of Seahawks football. Because, like I said, I do think there's gonna be
Wisconsin
some
Badgers.
changes in Seattle as they try and trend towards more of a rebuild, unless they miraculously win out, make the
Go
playoffs. But
back
that's not
better.
going to happen. However, I think that Seattle on primetime, I think we'll see Russell Wilson step up. He's still committed to the Seahawks this year, obviously. We'll see what happens after that and where that organization decides to go. But I think Russell Wilson and the Seahawks get a much-needed win as they try and cling to any sense of hope for the playoffs. They win it 35-31. Big game from Russell Wilson. Let's see it.
Yeah, I think
No.
this will be another game where it's not exactly the most interesting in terms of playoff, where that's all going to end up going. But you look at these two teams and you think, wow, this could be a good game actually because they're maybe not the best talent, but they're on similar skill levels and they match up to each other pretty well. Ryan, you made some good points about the Seahawks. That's exactly what I was going to say. And then for Washington, obviously Chase Young going down is huge, but a big win against the Bucs, so they're starting to have some momentum. Another one where I had to sit here for a while and think about it, but I ultimately picked the Seahawks just because I have faith in Russell Wilson, so I think they go into FedEx Field and get the job done. Seahawks win this one. Let's go 30-20. And that finally concludes it.
Good
We are through. This is what happens when we don't record a video for 2 months. I say at the beginning, actually, let's make this
I haven't
one
been in
short
front of a camera
so
in a
we
long
can
time,
make
and it feels good.
Another video right after this, and we end up going on for 45 minutes. And we are still here. You guys got
That
a whole
cannot happen.
documentary from us today in these Week 12 picks, so I hope you enjoyed it. This is our payback to you. You guys haven't had to deal with us for a while, so we just gave you all this content. But let's finally wrap this up. So you guys
Did you
can
miss
stop
me?
trying. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to stick around even if we don't post as much over these next couple of days. Hopefully, we will have some videos to post since we're all here. So thanks again for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell
Hit
so you
it.
can be notified every time we post a video.
Hit it.
Because it may not be as often now. So you might want to know when those videos
Watch them
do
bees,
show up.
people.
So once again, thank you, and we will see you soon. Whenever that is, we'd love to see you here. We can't see you. You can see us. We'd love for you to see us. And with that, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.